Alright guys, so welcome back to a brand new video. Today's video we're going to look at another Sony speaker. The last one was the XB10, something kind of small but something you can take with you, but it was an incredible speaker. Today we're going to look at the XB20, something a little bigger and something a little brighter. Alright, so to start off with accessories, this is it. This is your micro USB cable. This you need for charging because the speaker gets 12 hours of battery life. Now, the thing that I want to point out first about the speaker is yes, it gets 12 hours of battery life, but this speaker has a light up function. Now, when the lights are on, go ahead and expect your speaker to get about half your battery life. So you're going to get somewhere between 6 to 8 hours of battery. So whenever there is music playing, it doesn't necessarily go to the beat, but it does react to the beat. So let's go ahead and look at what it can do now.
But you can't blame me for trying. You know I'd be lying, saying you're the one. That could finally fix me.
Alright, so as you can see, it's lit up in the front. You do have the option right there where the extra bass button is to press and hold that, and that will turn your light off and save you a ton of battery. But again, this looks cool and it's an eye catcher, and I can see you actually wanting to leave the lights on. Alright, so build quality of this thing. When you pick it up, you can honestly feel that this is very just rugged. It's tough, it's heavy, it feels like it's premium built. Now that's not a surprise with Sony. They do a great job of not making their products feel cheap. You have a fingerprint magnet material right up here. It is a plastic, but Jesus does it pick up fingerprints. Like, you can't barely touch it without it picking it up. So if you're worried about that, probably wouldn't recommend the black model. They do have this available in white, blue, red, some other colors. White's probably going to keep your fingerprints off of it. Now on to the speaker itself. You have two speakers inside, and you have the passive radiator in the front and the back. That is what gives you the impact of the bass. Now this is the extra bass line of speakers that Sony offers, and so that is really important. Now on to the buttons on the top. You have your power button, your volume up, your volume down, the add button so that you can add another speaker and have your left and right stereo. You have your play pause, and then you have the button to be able to answer phone calls, and then your extra bass button if you want to turn it off. But I highly recommend that you leave the extra bass button on because it just adds so much more to music when listening to the speaker. Now you do have NFC right up top here if your device supports NFC. Obviously Apple users don't have that, so for Android users that have NFC, you have that option right up top. Now on to the back. This right here is the cover over your ports. You have an auxiliary input so that if you want to plug something straight wired into here, you can. You have the reset button and the micro USB port. Now this speaker is IPX5 water resistant. Now that doesn't mean that you can go and throw this thing and drop it in the pool. It just means you can put it close to the pool, get it splashed, and you don't have anything to worry about. If water falls on this, or if you have it out in the rain, it's not something you have to worry about. Now if it's submerged into water, you have something to worry about. Yes, this thing is tiny, but this thing puts out sound to compare to speakers like 2 to 3 times the size of this. I was amazed at how loud this thing can get, how clean it could sound and not get distorted, especially when the speaker is focused more on bass. I was amazed at the clarity. So we're going to talk about that in general, because obviously with extra bass, you're going to get thump, you're going to get punch. Sound wise, it channels it out very well. So as far as using this outdoors, it puts out way more than enough sound to use. Maybe not something that's going to, people are way far away from it, but something, especially this thing can fill a room easily. But as far as, again, the overall sound stage, you gotta see that bass is up here. Mids were really good. Like, I was so impressed of how great the vocals sounded out of this, because with Bluetooth speakers, once you turn your volume up, usually you get a muddy sound. Things just don't balance right, and it just sounds just not fun to listen to. And that was not the case with this. But again, I'm a sucker for Sony speakers. I think, I've said it before, Sony headphones I feel like those are hit or miss, but I think Sony with their speakers, I've just been impressed. I've always been impressed, and it just keeps getting better. Now, this speaker retails for $99. This particular week at Best Buy, this was only $69. So on Amazon, which I will put the link below, under $70, you get a speaker that lights up, which again, I'm a huge fan of, and you get a speaker that sounds amazing. So anyway, guys, that is my quick review of the Sony XB20. This is just a very impressive speaker. I highly recommend it. For the price that you can get it for right now, it's an absolute steal. So thank you guys so much for checking out this video. Thank you guys so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, guys, make sure to stay tuned for more.